My sister called last Sunday morning. Said Mama took a turn last night. So I drove 3 hours through the rain with both hands holding tight. When I reached the nursing home, she was sleeping by the window there. A tiny woman under white blankets, with silver in her hair. She woke up sometime afternoon, asked me if I was late for school, called me by my father's name. Memory can be cruel. Then she smiled and took my hand, like she used to long ago. And for a little while that afternoon, she somehow seemed to know. We sat there sharing borrowed Sunday hours, watching shadows cross the floor, talking about things that never happened and things we can't anymore. Borrowed Sunday, nothing promised, nothing owed, just a few more precious moments on a fading road. She asked about the old green station wagon and the dog we had in '72. Asked if Daddy still worked nights like he used to do. I didn't have the heart to tell her he's been gone near 15 years. So I just nodded and smiled back through a blur of tears. Time can steal a lot of things, names and faces first, but somehow love stays hiding underneath the hurt. And sometimes grace arrives quietly, without a grand design, inside an ordinary afternoon you thought you left behind. We sat there sharing borrowed Sunday hours, like we had years to spare. The rain kept falling past the window. Neither of us seemed to care. Oh, borrowed Sunday. Then evening came too soon. She fell asleep still holding my hand. Beneath the pale blue room, she fell asleep, still holding my hand. Beneath the pale blue room. Saturday morning at the flea market, 3 rows past the old vinyl stand. I wasn't looking for anything special, just killing time with coffee in my hand. Then I saw them on a folding table under a handwritten cardboard sign. Little silver earrings, slightly crooked, marked down to $5.99. The young girl running the booth said they're probably not worth much. I told her, honey, neither am I, and we both laughed a bunch. She didn't know I'd spend my 20s trying to be somebody else. Now I buy things because they make me smile, not because they impress anybody. Than diamonds ever could. $5 earrings shining in the afternoon sun. Some treasures don't cost much. They're just fun. I wore them to my granddaughter's birthday, and she noticed right away. Said, Grandma, those are beautiful, like she discovered Cartier. I leaned down and whispered, guess what these fancy things cost? Her jaw nearly hit the kitchen floor when I told her what I'd bought. Places to stay, a song on the radio, a good friend dropping by, and sometimes a pair of cheap earrings that catch the sunlight right. Turns out downtown. Found a faded postcard in a second-hand suitcase from a town called Abilene. Handwriting crooked, but the words still carried more than they seem to mean. Wish you were here, written beside a river. And a rusty Chevrolet. Somewhere somebody chased a dream and never threw it away. Every photograph keeps breathing long after the moment goes. Every memory leaves footprints, only the heart knows. Moonshine postcard blowing through the Tennessee wind. Saxophone singing from a roadside tavern, calling me back again. Moonshine postcard, carrying stories through the years. Funny how an old piece of paper can bring back forgotten tears. Truck stop waitress talking with a traveler about places she's never seen. Old mechanic smiling at the conversation like he knows what dreaming means. I remember packing bags for California, thinking freedom wore a crown. Now I know he rides shotgun when the windows are rolled down. No destination circled on a map, no place I had to go. At a gas station outside Reno, the clerk asked where I was headed next. I said if I knew that already, this trip would be less interesting. Nevada motel keys swinging from my fingertips. One room, one night, one highway, one more chapter to live. Nevada motel keys scattered across the passenger seat. Proof that freedom sometimes arrives looking nothing like you dreamed. The first motel had a broken ice machine. The second had a neon cactus sign. The third one came with a waitress who'd been married 6 times. She taught me over pancakes, baby, don't rush finding your way. Then charged me half price for breakfast and sent me on my way. Nevada motel keys, collecting dust and stories too. Every little plastic keychain holding somebody's truth. Nevada motel keys hanging by the dashboard light like tiny souvenirs from borrowed nights. Back home they kept asking, what exactly are you looking for? And I never had a good answer. That's what bothered them more. But maybe not every journey needs a reason to begin. Maybe sometimes you leave just to hear yourself again. Nevada motel keys still hanging in my hallway now. Little plastic reminders of who I became somehow. Nevada motel keys, not treasure, gold or pearls, just proof that one summer I gave myself back to the world. Yeah, proof that one summer I gave myself back to the world. pawn shop on Willow Street still had the same green sign, buzzing like it did back when you were still mine. I hadn't walked through that doorway since the winter of '88, back when life was falling apart faster than I could think. I pulled my wedding ring there to keep the lights from getting cut. The man behind the counter never asked too much, just slid $20 toward me and wrote a ticket in blue ink. Funny how pride gets smaller when you're standing on the brink. Pawn ticket rain falling through my memory, every drop another chapter of who I used to be. Pawn ticket rain running down the window pane. I survived those hungry years, but I still remember the rain. Today I found that ticket inside an old coat sleeve. The paper nearly turned to dust, but it refused to leave. And suddenly I saw that woman standing there at 32, scared of tomorrow every morning, yet somehow making it through. About survival when survival looks ordinary. No crowds cheering in the background, no headlines in the papers, just showing up again on Monday with your heart held together by thread. Some victories are invisible until years after they're won. Pawn ticket rain still falling somewhere in my mind, but it don't feel quite as cold now, looking back through time. Pawn ticket rain washing she was breaking, she was becoming who I am today. Yeah, she was becoming who I am today. Chevy parked beside the truck stop, moonlight on the hood like paint. Cashier humming old Al Green records like the night was the same. Coffee cups stacked high behind the counter, graveyard shift rolling along. Somewhere near the interstate, a radio keeps singing an old soul song. Every mile leaves behind a story, every scar leaves behind a tune. Every dream that didn't make it still shines beneath the moon. Rusty chrome moonlight shining on the highway lines, saxophone floating through the darkness like a forgotten sign. Rusty chrome moonlight, silver dancing on the road. Funny how a wandering heart still carries a heavy load. Single mother filling up a gas tank, kids asleep in the backseat. Old musician loading up his amplifier after another late night gig on Beale Street. I remember running toward tomorrow, trying hard to outrun my fears. Now I wear my hard-earned stories like diamonds carved by years. Freedom is a drive. Maybe old blues women keep rolling just to feel alive. Just to feel alive. Ah, rusted chrome moonlight, golden reflections on the rain. Whole night promising me gonna carry on, baby, and our daughters to be. I got a new bonnet when I'm pruning my time, and I haven't been a shoulder, but baby, it's my time. I got the soul up, yeah, I got the soul up, I got the soul up, hey, I got the soul up. All the things I do, then I wanna be free. It's a time to see my soul, and I'm gonna be with me. I've got the soul up, yeah, I got the soul up, I got the soul up, yeah, I got the soul up. I'm down for you. Every time I lose it back through. Being strong, I'm being defined. Go my life, and every damn time I'm gonna say what you got. I'm gonna say what you got. I'm gonna do yourself, baby, if you got to say. I'm gonna say what you got. I got the soul up. I got the soul up. Baby, I'm gonna say what you got. Baby, baby, don't beat no sense. Guess I'm gone, but I beat the scent. The way you breathe is fire inside. I got the soul up, and I let it inside. I'm gonna say what you got. I got the soul up, what you got. I got the soul up, what you got. I'm gonna say what you got. All of the day, it's all I can see. And there is something you can feel me. I've got the soul up, and I love the place. I'm gonna be saved, and you can't be saved. I'm gonna say what you got. I'm gonna say what you got. I got the soul up. Say what you got. I got the soul up. I got the soul up. Say what you got. I got the soul up. Baby, darling, I'm down for you. And the darkness is all I do. I got a soul up to beat myself. I can feel it, and I'm taking shelf. But baby, don't you do, I'm down for it's just what maybe. When you're feeling all alone, and you look at me, don't, and something is you and me. I got the soul, I got the soul, I got the soul, I got the soul. Baby, things I do, just being so. And down the time, I lose it slow. Baby, I'm down for you. But your baby, it's just us two. I'm gonna say what you got, baby, don't you see? I got the soul, what you got, I got the soul. I'm gonna say what you got, I got the soul. I'm gonna take it soul. I'm gonna say what you got, baby, don't you got. I'm gonna say what you got. Oh, baby, things I do, this pain will be. Every Tuesday around 6:30, he came through that same front door, ordered chicken soup and black coffee, sat at booth number 4. Never talked much with the customers, never stayed beyond an hour, just watched the traffic through the window like somebody waiting on something. The waitresses all knew his name, though he rarely spoke a word. He'd smile politely when they filled his cup, then disappear into his world. One December I finally asked him, what keeps you coming back here? He looked outside for a long, long time before I heard. He said, my wife loved this booth by the window 20 years ago this spring. Every Friday after work, she'd sit right here with me. And if I close my eyes sometimes, I can almost hear her laugh. So I come here every Tuesday just to visit the past. After that we talked a little about baseball and old records, about the factory that shut down and doctors' waiting rooms, about children moving westward and friends already gone, about how a house gets quieter year after year. Then one winter Tuesday evening, the snow came down for hours. Booth number 4 stayed empty. No black coffee, no flowers. The waitress folded up a newspaper, left behind on the seat. Nobody said much that night. Nobody wanted to speak. Now sometimes when I'm passing, I sit by that same old glass, watching headlights paint reflections like ghosts from the past. And I finally understand why he returned week after week. Love doesn't the people leave. No, love doesn't always leave a room when the people leave. Last Thursday at 1:45, my telephone started ringing. Nobody calls this late anymore, not unless something's breaking. I let it ring 3 times, then 4, then 5, then 6, until the machine picked up and captured whatever it was. At first there was only silence, a long breath and a crackling line. Then somebody whispered softly, "Mary, are you still alive?" I almost dropped my coffee. Nobody calls me that these days, not since high school ended and everybody changed. Velvet answering machine, playing goes through tiny speakers, carrying old names across forgotten years. Velvet answering machine, holding voices out of time, like messages trapped somewhere between memory and goodbye. I listen 7 times that morning, trying hard to place the sound. Then suddenly I saw him standing on the football grounds. Danny Reed, class of '74, the boy who left for Vietnam, the boy who kissed me behind the gym before becoming a man. The funny thing about old feelings, they don't really disappear. They just learn to live quietly somewhere underneath the years. And every now and then they wake up from places you forgot, like records buried in the attic, still turning when they're not. Velvet answering machine, she still sitting by the kitchen wall, the garden little pieces V of life's too small to recall. V, velvet answering machine. She, I never call them back. Some stories sound more beautiful when they stay in the past. D, yeah, some stories sound more beautiful when they stay in the past. It happened back in '87 at a station outside St. Louis town. I was carrying one blue suitcase and a heart already breaking down. Your letter sat inside my coat pocket, folded soft from being read. 3 simple lines that changed everything. That's all it said. I bought a ticket without thinking, just needed somewhere else to be. Didn't matter where the train was headed, as long as it wasn't here with me. Halfway through the night I noticed the towns weren't ones I knew. That's when the conductor smiled and said, "Ma'am, this train ain't heading where you thought it would. Wrong train home, rolling through the dark unknown, watching old dreams disappear, town by town. Wrong train home. Funny thing I've come to learn, sometimes the road you never wanted becomes a road you need to turn." I ended up in New Mexico, working nights inside a cafe. Met a woman named Lucille, who taught me not to run away. She played piano after closing and laughed like she had nothing to lose. For 6 whole months she showed me how to sing the blues. Looking back across the decades, I barely recognize that girl, trying to outrun heartbreak by disappearing from the world. But wisdom rarely knocks politely, it usually arrives disguised as mistakes you spend years regretting before you realize they saved your life. Wrong train home still echoes through my mind. much more strong.